So the teacher I'm going to talk about is the poet Ed Hirsch. I was in school for a lot of years, so I had a lot of teachers, but Ed Hirsch really, in some ways, taught me my mode of intellectual engagement, and I don't mean that in one subject, I mean that globally. And he did that by modeling it. I had had a lot of teachers before then for poetry, but never a teacher who made into one thing intellectual engagement and emotional, passionate investment. That when Ed Hirsch dissected a line of poetry for us in class, you could see that his mind and his heart were equally flabbergasted by the ingenuity of the making. And watching him do that helped me, like I said, as a person, as a teacher, do that in my life. It showed me that these two things that maybe I had been taught either implicitly or even explicitly to think of as separate really could be one thing. It was there when he animated a line of poetry for us, but it was there in every aspect of his classroom interactions. He would, begin a class by asking, does anybody have any thoughts, hopes, or dreams for the future? That kind of playfulness, but also that sense of the classroom as a space unbounded, a space that could have our thoughts, but also could have our hopes and our dreams, that our hearts and our minds were both on the table. I was lucky enough to study Yeats and Frost with Ed Hirsch, great poets, and among the things that will stay with me is Ed Hirsch's recitation from memory of Frost's poem Desert Places. And it was not a polished stage sort of recitation. You could see maybe he was even a little nervous around the edges, but I can think of maybe half a dozen times in my life that a poem has ever felt so sort of tectonic in its effects on me. And it wasn't that it was its effects on me, is that I was feeling Ed Hirsch's passion secondhand. So he's just an amazing teacher.